Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today we're going to go over just some of the brand new knowledge that we were gifted by the developers. They're having a live stream as we speak. They're in a little bit of a break. I wanted to make a video about the brand new inversion reinforcement. I'm basically going to go over each and every attribute, recovery, survival, everyone they hover over in this video and kind of talk about it just to get an idea at what we're going to be seeing for the new inversion reinforcement come season 2. It is a lot of buffs. This is going to be no penalties and pure damage and recovery. They said there's nothing that's going to be negative about it. It's just going to be easy to trigger, and it's going to give you a lot more buffs. So as we can see, I'm not going to waste any time. Don't forget to subscribe if you feel like I've earned it. Like the video if it helped you out. Comment any feedback you've got for me, but I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right in. So the first one we see here is going to be fire focus rounds. It's on the attribute row, so below hunt. They didn't hover over hunt right away, but I believe they do later, so we'll get into that in a sec. But you can see on hitting an enemy with a firearm grants fire focus rounds. Fire focus rounds adds fire attack equal to 4.8% of firearm ATK for 30 seconds up to 5 stacks. So you're going to get right around 25% of your element of choice, which is kind of insane. However, when you change the weapon, it removes the fire focus rounds. So what that means is if you want to add that little bit more for, Enduring Legacy for fire, this is going to be how you do that. My guess is the next one we go to is probably going to be, chill focus rounds. So chill focus rounds, the same exact thing. You're going to get chill ATK 25%. And then when you change from that weapon, you're going to lose that. So basically it's just giving your weapon a straight up buff of around 25% in whatever element you want to choose. We'll let it play out here and then we'll see what we get next. So toxic, so we're gonna get fire, chill, toxic, and then I'm guessing we're gonna get electric. And then move on to the actual final, once you complete the entire row. So when you're at the max stacks, which is 5 stacks, so when you've hit an enemy 5 times, you're gonna get enhanced focus rounds. So enhanced focus rounds on hitting an enemy with a firearm grants bypass immunity. So all attribute resistance minus 4% for 30 seconds up to 5 stacks. So you're gonna get around 20% attribute resistance for 30 seconds just for using your weapon. So this is kind of crazy. I feel like this is like a night and day difference compared to what we had last time for this row. So yeah, this is insane. Basically for shooting a weapon, you're just going to get an absurd amount of resistances and a decent amount of damage at the same time just for finishing this row. It's going to be really worth it to finish these inversion reinforcements pretty early, and you're actually able to earn them pretty similarly to how we were last season. By just doing the missions out in the open world. They said you could earn them in the new missions as well. Well, let's jump to the next row here. We're going to look at probably recovery. I think they hover over next. So selective cellular stimulation grants one of the following 3 effects every 30 seconds. Has a 60% chance to recover, 30% chance to recover, and a 10% chance to recover. Basically a portion of your max HP and MP. So this is just like we saw last season. They're just buffing it a little bit more to include MP and HP, it looks like, except for the lower chance one is the only one that gives you HP and MP, and then the other ones just straight up give you HP. So every 60 seconds or every 30 seconds, you get basically a guarantee of 19.2% max HP, which is kind of wild. Obviously, if you get lucky, you also get half your HP and a 2% of max MP. That seems like a low number. I don't know if that's even worth it on the 10% chance one, but it's 43% of your max HP, so still very good. Let's see if it's going to be that way for the next one for MP. Ooh, they skipped over to those sly dogs. So this one is when an enemy is nearby, grants heightened sensory cells every half second. Heightened sensory cells last for 10 seconds, recovers HP by 20% of max HP, and MP by 8.5% of max MP upon reaching a max stacks up to 4 stacks. So just another way to get HP and MP. I would say this is honestly probably better than the first one, because the first one is just like a guaranteed amount every 30 seconds. You're always going to be near an enemy. So every half second, you're going to get this buff basically, and it's going to stack. However, this one does have a cooldown, so I'm not too sure. We're going to have to wait and see if this is going to be better than the other one. I don't know. It's a 25-second cooldown compared to the 30 seconds, so this one might be better just because of that. It also guarantees that you get 20% of your max HP and 8.5% of your max MP, and that you do obviously get higher stacks, but let's move on to the next one that they hover. So they skip the survival. They go right to Adrenaline Rush. So for Adrenaline Rush, need to go back a little bit. Let it play out. When defeating an enemy grants Adrenaline Rush. Adrenaline Rush, all movement speeds. Okay, so they hit it, but it's increased by blank for 10 seconds. I imagine it's not going to be too much, but it gives you a nice little speed buff. Let's see what is next. Photon stacking. On hitting 3 or more enemies with the brand new weapon Volsha, grants photon stacking. Photon stacking, firearm ATK plus 12.8%. Beam rifle charging speed plus 16% for 10 seconds, and when changing weapons, removes photon stacking. So basically, you'll lose the buff when you change weapons. So obviously, you're going to be having Volsha a lot with the new update. It seems like a really strong weapon. We'll get into that in a bit. But you get a solid 16% beam charging rate and a 12% just straight across the board firearm ATK buff just for using Volsha. So that's going to be a really interesting one, which is it's niche though. So I don't know how much we're actually going to use it. I'm guessing we might be using that beam rifle a lot though this season. So when firing Hammer and Anvil is another new gun. In Anvil mode, it grants Explosive Forging. Explosive Forging is a buff where your shell capacity is increased by 13% and your skill cost is reduced by 6% for 10 seconds. It has a 20-second cooldown, kind of like the previous one. Whenever you change weapons, it goes away. So 2 buffs for the 2 new weapons, just very niche. Wonder how much we'll actually use those. My guess is we're going to use the Volsha one more, so we might use that buff. We're going to have to see what the survival and the hunt ones do before anything. But let's look at Arcade Boost. So Arcade Boost, on hitting 5 or more enemies with a skill, it grants Arcade Boost. So Arcade Boost gives you a skill cooldown reduction of 15.5% and a speed and range increase modifier of 11% for 7 seconds. Not too sure what that speed's going to really do unless they fix it. You know, for season 2, it seems like it doesn't work for a lot of Descendants abilities. But that range and increase modifier is going to be nice. The only unfortunate bit is it does have a 25-second cooldown. We are constantly hitting 5 or more enemies with skills. So we're pretty much going to keep this up for 7 seconds constantly, and then it'll have like an 18-second downtime. Kind of unfortunate. Would have loved to see this maybe be a little bit less of a cooldown, be a little bit more powerful. But it's in the seasonal section, so don't really know if they plan on changing that. They did say they plan on listening to feedback, guys. Just keep that in mind. Your comments are very important down below. If you want to see these change or you think that they're wrong, right, make sure to comment what you think down below for sure. Let's see if they hover any other ones that might be a cycle. The last one is Quantum Domain. When you finish the entire seasonal row, you get Quantum Domain. Skill effect range plus 0.8% and skill power plus 0.6. Okay, up to 15 stacks. So this is going to give us right around like 13% range. And I think that's like 7.5% to 8% skill power. It's for free. It's just for, borrowed power, just for completing some of these missions. So honestly, you cannot complain. It's just an internal stacking buff. Out of everything we get, it's another buff to get some more damage. So I'll take it. And honestly, that's probably the best one so far, just from completing the row. I don't know, actually, the other one with the resistances was pretty nice, but that's a really, really solid one. Let's see if they hover the top. They don't. Okay, they just have it on repeat. So that's pretty much what we know of the Inversion reinforcement as of right now. Obviously, they didn't hover the hunt, recovery, or survival rows. They did say there were some changes to them. So we'll have to wait and see, but I wanted to make sure to get a video out discussing some of the changes that we're going to see for Inversion reinforcement coming December 4th when this season 2 comes out. If you guys have anything for me, any feedback, or you guys want to have anything to do with the changes here to the Inversion reinforcement, are you guys happy that they buffed it? Are you sad? You think this maybe makes the game a little bit easier? I think this is not too much to make it too easy. I think this is like honestly the perfect way to go. You kind of increase it small increments at a time to not break the game per se. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments for sure. Don't forget to like the video to help you out. Subscribe if you feel that I've earned it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. There's going to be a ton of First Descendant videos coming out from me because they just unleashed an absolute barrage of information at us. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon for sure. Stay tuned. Have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace out. Goodbye.